Good evening. I'm Adventure Argonaut, and my voice might be a bit gone. But this is the golden news, regardless. And no stream on Rumble today because Rumble doesn't seem to be working, so I'm not gonna stream there if it's impossible today. It's not the first time something like this has happened, but I hope it works tomorrow. And Kick and Twitch are running, but have to see how Parti is doing. But I will be discussing news from the passing week, or the past week. Okay, I see live on Party as well. All right. Yeah, everything's hunky dory now. So let's get on with the show. So first, Barbarians invade Paris. I didn't come up with the statement. Somebody else did. So let's have a look. So just this was a few days ago, but anyways, at least 2 dead, one police officer in coma, hundreds injured after violent riots by barbarians, quote unquote, yesterday in Paris, France. So yeah, I like the. I don't know who they're quoting here, barbarians, but I like the touch. France, this is fine. I think this video is older, though. I've seen it before, so it's not from this current event. This guy saying, "Deport non-whites, no more race riots." Yes, barbarians, non-European invaders. That's what these people say. Okay, well, yeah, they seem to be African and North African. But let's see. It's handy. I can um, turn off the mic every now and then since I want to cough properly. But yeah, there's stuff happening. Thoughts are scared in their car. Yeah. So the third world invaders are attacking. Excuse me. Young innocent women in the streets of Paris. Maybe it sounds like I'm crying, but no, it's just my voice is gone to shit. This is what American streets will look like without mass deportations. Blah blah blah. Yeah. And the war crime is saying it's time for the Pope to get off his ass and call a crusade on Europa. Enough is enough. It's cool meme of an idea, but I don't see it happening under the current Pope's jurisdiction. And I heard some claims that, supposedly some mainstream media is claiming that or suggesting these riots are due to like football hooligans or something. And I don't know what the official reason is for getting these people riled up, but like yeah, maybe they Paris shouldn't have so many of these non-native people to get this riled up, whatever the reason is. But let's move on to the next story because I don't have much else to say about these barbarians. Okay, so no ceasefire for Ukraine after all, maybe. So yeah, it's a bit touch and go the Ukraine situation because Trump was supposedly gonna arrange a ceasefire or something, but now it doesn't seem so likely. Maybe. So this is also from like 3 days ago. Air raid sirens are currently resounding across much of Ukraine, including the capital city of Kiev. A large Russian counterstrike is underway. So yeah, and there was like some thing that the Ukrainians sneaked some drones to destroy a bunch of Russian fighter planes and stuff, like very sneakily. And I guess it's good for them. But like if they do that, then Russia is gonna retaliate in another way. Like neither action is very like conducive to a ceasefire. And but here, and this is like one day after this, Zelensky says Ukraine ready to take necessary steps for peace. So there been, I guess, the fighting has intensified. As far as I know, I don't follow the war step by step or day by day or anything. But it seems to me feels like since the ceasefire negotiations were started, it seems like things have simply heated up. But I might be wrong. And here, China says United States is responsible for the war in Ukraine.
The United States bears a major responsibility for the outbreak of the war and the continuation of the war. But of course, the United States has a responsibility to work its efforts and play its part for an early ending of the conflict. We urge the United States to concentrate on the ongoing diplomatic efforts and to stop.
Yeah. So, but at least for the most part, for a large part, responsible. No, like it's a proxy war, and Ukraine has been a U.S. puppet for at least a decade. Before the war even started. So I can't blame Russia for like you can blame Russia for some things, but I can't blame them for seeing it as a hostile action. How interested NATO and EU have gotten with Ukraine and stuff. And here, an evil man will burn his own nation to the ground just to rule over the ashes. Sun Tzu, yes, very, I don't know, poetic. I didn't even mean to juxtapose these. And not to say that, Chinese are somehow superior or whatever, but it's like, that it's easy for the Chinese to, like, just look and point and laugh, basically, because others are going full retard or full psycho or whatever. And there's this flag, like is this from Ukraine? Like there's no context, but yeah, this guy says I'm starting to notice a pattern. It's like yeah, because I don't. It's not like the Christians that are in charge of Ukraine or anything. Like I wonder who's in charge of Ukraine and like what was Zelensky's like ethnicity or religion? Like it wasn't Christian. Was it Buddhist, Amish, maybe something like this? I'm not sure. But anyways, let's move on because I don't want to speculate about the war because I really don't know what's gonna happen. And DOGE is dead. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiencies. Well, let's have a look here. According to White House, DOGE is victorious in slashing waste, fraud, and abuse, and certainly it did do some good things like get rid of U.S. aid, stuff like that. Um, so it did accomplish many good things, but there was clearly much more they should and could have accomplished, and now it seems like they were shut down because well, either they weren't really doing their job anymore, or somebody got threatened that they were, actually intending to do their job. So yeah, here's Ron Paul saying Doge embodied the original American spirit. America's founders would have jumped for joy. Both parties squashed it. So that's his statement. I'm not gonna watch this video. It's like yeah, almost 5 minutes, but uh, Elon versus the machine. Doge plan. Elon tries to help. Gov spending machine. I tried. Okay, this meme isn't so Elon leaves Earth. Yeah, this meme is really bad, and I don't care about like the statement behind it, but the way it's made, like I don't know, it's just badly made meme. It offends me. So yeah, this Doge could have destroyed and exposed the NWO by just simply auditing Fort Knox's gold supply. Why didn't they? Like yeah, exactly. Like Elon Musk hinted at auditing Fort Knox, and then it was like, then people like me talked about it on Twitter for a week, and then it was sort of forgotten. So yeah, like the only reasonable way I can um, like take this is that there is something sus about Fort Knox. Maybe they don't have all the gold that they are supposed to have, or maybe there's, I don't know, maybe they have more gold than they should, or something like that, or maybe they're hiding alien rectums in Fort Knox instead of gold, or plutonium molasses. Molasses. I don't know, but there's something. Not everything is up to snuff clearly, and this, I don't know if this particularly, like this Fort Knox threat, led to the shutdown of Doge, but I would say it's likely one of the reasons why some people didn't like it in both parties, as Ron Paul said. And then there's this. Elon Musk showed up to the Oval Office with a black eye, something he claimed his 5-year-old son X did. So yeah, he has a blah 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 black eye here. And why that's relevant is, of course, that. Excuse me, I'm gonna do some coughing. All right, I did some coughing. So yeah, here this guy says, Elon Musk's black eye, Ashley St. Clair, the Black Eye Club, Little X son punched him, something else comment. So I guess this is like he was trying to do the, poll, but fucked it up or something. Anyways, but I think this is the reason why I wanted this here. So what's funny to me is that they could have easily covered it up with makeup, but did not. That's a good point, because like, of course, even rich and famous people have accidents, and indeed I can sort of believe that, well, sometimes kids do stuff like that to their parents, intentionally or accidentally. But like, yeah, this guy saying Elon just brought attention to this, so this is the so-called Black Eye Club, and this is just a small snippet. So there's all, but big bunch of these celebrities. I think these all look like it's the left eye though, and I think for Elon Musk is the right eye. Yeah. So maybe it is different, but anyway, so yeah, it drew attention to this because there's like, the significance of this, that it's probably not just, oops, I got drunk and fell down the stairs or something. Like people have different interpretations, like either it's some sort of humiliation ritual, or like, take adrenochrome, some, creepy drug, have to put a needle through their eye or something, and that causes that, or something, or maybe it's like a badge of honor, or sort of like a rite of passage, and they have to display it publicly, or like rather they want to display it publicly for, others in their club, so they can know, like, aha, gained he has leveled up or something. It's probably something along that line, but not really sure what it is. So yeah, is Elon Musk like it, and is he? Does it mean that he's joined the club, or is he? Did he do this sort of to draw attention to this? It's possible. I'm not really. I don't believe that he did it just for the attention, but it's theoretically possible. But yeah, okay. Just this thing. Somebody asked Rock: Is adrenaline found in the bloodstream of freshly circumcised babies? Yes or no? Right? Because there's, if you don't know, adrenochrome, I think is was popularized by the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It was mentioned adrenochrome, that supposedly works as a drug, and it is some sort of chemical substance that is in the human bloodstream. But like officially, according to mainstream sources, it doesn't function as a drug. But let's say according to conspiracy theories and the book, fictional book, it does. act as some sort of drug. But anyways, is adrenaline found in the bloodstream of freshly circumcised babies? Yes or no? Yes. Does adrenaline in the blood turn to adrenochrome when it oxidizes? Yes, adrenaline, epinephrine in the blood can oxidize to form adrenochrome. So yeah, this is like this is, I guess, referring to the practice of some traditional rabbis who, suck the baby's penis when they the blood out from baby's penis when they circumcise the babies. So this is very interesting observation, if indeed, Grok here is giving accurate information. Since I was talking about adrenochrome, that's why I wanted to bring it up. All right, let's move on. So yeah, rip Doge, R.I.P. I mean, rip in peace. And then Trump, can't really see the text here, but there should be some text. Trump becomes Saruman. So Trump taps Palantir to create a master database on every American. You can't say you weren't warned. So yeah, like of course, some people pointed out, like, doesn't the social security number serve a similar purpose? But like, I guess this is gonna be more detailed, bit of information. So yeah, as this seems like Trump is just increasing the government surveillance instead of cutting it down, which doesn't sound good. Of course, theoretically speaking, Trump could use it for good to, find info about the bad guys, not just the good guys. But I don't think you should trust any politician too blindly. Let's just say that. And here Isaac's Army says, I don't think people understand how dangerous Palantir Technologies is. This is basically social credit system being put on all US citizens and much more. Palantir is an IDF war tool, so the Israeli Defense Force. There are a few things they specialize in. Palantir, a data analytics company specializing in AI-powered software, has a strategic partnership with the Israeli Ministry of Defense to provide technology for war-related missions. Specifically, Palantir offers tools for intelligence gathering, target analysis, and potentially assisting in battle planning. Palantir CEO Alex Karp has publicly expressed strong support for Israel and stated that the company's products are in high demand there. Palantir's technology is used to identify individuals who are likely to launch lone wolf terrorist attacks, facilitating their arrest preemptively before the strike that is projected they would carry. Okay, this sounds like the movie Minority Report or something. Um, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, it doesn't sound good indeed. All right, so let's move on to the next bit. Epstein had a tape showing he committed suicide all along. Press X to doubt. But Dan Bongino, the FBI deputy director, claims that he's seen like there's footage showing Epstein killing himself, and it will be released publicly. Which I don't believe. Like, I do believe that it's possible they will release a tape showing that, but I won't believe that it's genuine. It's probably AI if such a tape shows up, because like, why now? It's been how many years? When did he die? Was it 2017, 18, 19, something like that? Like, why didn't they do it before? And like, before somebody points out, like, aha, but that was the um, Biden era. Like, of course, they would cover it up and stuff, but it's like Epstein died when during Trump's first term, so he was still like, why didn't they do it back then? So yeah, it is sounds very sus. Kevin Sorbo here points out, that we now have a video when we were All told that the cameras malfunctioned. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, though. Yeah, exactly. We were told that the cameras weren't working, so we didn't see what happened. And yeah, it's probably just AI made. Yeah. Excuse me. Had to cough up a lung. Mm. All right. So yeah, here, Bondi, Pam Bondi. The Epstein files are on my desk. They're coming out tomorrow. Bondi, actually, there's some useless binders. This is just phase one. But sadly, yeah, we need more time with the files. Bongino, yeah, and Epstein killed himself. Bongino, and we have got a video, but needed to enhance it before releasing. Give me a break, exactly. It just sounds like bullshit. They're, stringing people along. And some people are saying, like, oh, trust them. Like, okay, sure, it is, I'm going to grant them, like, 2 to 3% chance that, maybe it is actually, like, they are actually trying to do some good. And this is sort of to, I don't know, maybe also deceive the bad guys or something. But hey, I'm not going to hold my breath that, let's just take the Occam's razor here and say, assume that these people are as corrupt as the swamp that, they're supposed to be uh, draining. It's this tough choice. None of the cameras were working, and I saw the video myself. Yeah, yeah, indeed. Which one is it? Maybe both. Schrodinger's Epstein hanging. All right, and then we get to this Greenwald degeneracy with some journalist whose sex tape was released. I didn't see the tape. I only saw like one picture, and he was wearing like a maid uniform or something. And supposedly he's, kissing some black guy's feet or whatever. And so okay, first this guy says Elven friend criticizes Israel. Immediately tapes are leaked from of him being a degenerate. There's no doubt that Israel runs a blackmail ring on a journalist. Glenn is the tip of the iceberg. Well, Uh, well, he didn't say. At least as far as I know, he didn't say that he'd been blackmailed or something. Like, of course, there's political reason behind the release, but let's just see what he says first. This Greenwald, and I know that he's done some decent things. I don't know, like, in great detail all his accomplishments, but my impression is like, okay, he's one of the more decent journalists out there, which is, very rare. Anyways, last night videos were released online depicting behavior in my private life. Some were distorted and others were not. They were published without my knowledge or consent, and its publication was therefore criminal. Though we do not yet know exactly who is responsible, we are close to knowing, and the motive was a maliciously political one. As for the content of the videos, I have no embarrassment or regret about them. The videos depict consenting adults engage in intimate actions in their private lives. They all display fully consensual behavior, harming nobody. Obviously, it can be uncomfortable and unpleasant when your private behavior is made public against your will. That's why the behavior is private in the first place. But the only wrongdoing here is the criminal and malicious publication of the videos in an attempt to malign perceived political enemies and advance a political agenda. Others are, of course, free to form their own judgments, as some are prone to do about others' private lives. I won't change my work. I will continue all the many prongs of my journalism and pursue the causes most important to me, exactly as before. So he didn't, like, he doesn't seem to regret his degenerate actions at all, which is, uh caused stirred up a debate. And there is an argument made both ways, that first of all, that It doesn't really detract from whatever good work he has done in the past. Like even if he does some really kinky stuff, disgustingly kinky stuff, as it supposedly is, and but like also it's like it's not. He doesn't sound like the kind of uh, character that like truly morally upright person you want leading any kind of cause or anything. And then there's Ian Carroll saying the Glenn Greenwald scandal just proves the point. Israelis' modern image is built on blackmail. You just keep on being one of the best journalists of our time, and you're all good. Sorry what you're going through. The scandal reflects far worse on the Z-nihilists than you. Um, See, okay, if this guy is just siding with Greenwald, then I have to side against him because I don't trust this guy at all. Like at least Greenwald I can trust certain degree, but just know that he's a complete degenerate. Um, And here, Syrian girl says on the leaked sexual blackmail video of Glenn Greenwald, lest we forget the pro-Israel side is full of degenerates, Rabbi Shmuley, Destiny Stephen Barnell, Brian Wu, formerly Brian Wu, Oli of London, Douglas Murray, to name a few. But the incident lends itself to these lessons. There are limits to the privilege afforded to even liberals of a certain ethnic persuasion when it comes to speaking out against Israel's genocide. If you are going into politics, you cannot afford to be a degenerate ever, whether heterosexual or homosexual. It will be used against you. Yeah. Common consensus is being a degenerate is not as bad as burning children alive, and rightly so. Sure, I do agree with that. Liberals and conservatives can both come to agree that Israel shouldn't be allowed to genocide Palestinians, but we cannot forget that uh, they liberals and we are not. They are liberals, I guess. Not really sure, but but like my argument here would be like, okay, why does anybody who seems to be in a sort of significant position, they seem to have some sort of blackmailable stuff for them, like not just showing internet history that they visited some sort of pervert sites or something, but they have video of them doing all sorts of stuff that most people wouldn't do and would be disgusted about. So like why not, like why can't we have like Syrian girl says that you cannot be a degenerate too if you go into politics. Like, yeah, why can't we have like people who, except like Assad actually, the president of Syria who was ousted from power just a few months ago, like because his private messages to his emails were leaked, and it was basically just very wholesome love letters to his wife or something, and then there were some other women who you know were flirting with him, and then he just put them in the trash bin or something like those emails. So yeah, it at least sounds like he was a truly pure individual. Like certainly less degenerate than even me or something. Um, all right, but let's move on. But okay, I guess I should. There's one more point I wanna make is that it might still affect um, Greenwald's career negatively now that this has been released. Like maybe possible sources who might have leaked information to him or provided a testimony or whatever. Maybe they will reconsider. Like, oh, now they heard of his negative reputation. It's like, okay, maybe I don't want to trust this guy. This is a bit sus. Like you can say it's an unfair way of judging people. Perhaps it is, but that's how people tend to behave. And of course, like, yeah, so it might affect his professional capabilities. And then Israel delenda est. Israel has to be destroyed, the state, of course, the political entity. And here's some stories relating that. So first of all, this is like the last week I mentioned the story of the shooting at the Jewish Museum in DC, and the alleged shooter Elias Rodriguez. He called for the genocide of tens of millions of white people to make America a normal country, and he praised Stalin for ending one of the most anti-Semitic regimes ever known to man. So yeah, some people said that he is actually Jewish or something, which would be interesting because I think he was blamed. At least the media made it seem like he was a Muslim. Maybe he's not. But why would he have his rainbow if he's a Muslim? Lodi probably would have to actually genocide white people to make this a normal country. Like even a very targeted and selective rehabilitation program would probably have led to the lifetime imprisonment of tens of millions of white people. One of the biggest things that Stalin didn't do wrong was ending the most anti-Semitic regime ever yet known to man. Okay. All right. And then there was a more recent attack in America. So in Boulder, Colorado, so Trump has this to say. Yesterday's horrific attack in Boulder, Colorado will not be tolerated in the United States of America. He came in through Biden's ridiculous open border policy, which has hurt our country so badly. He must go on out under Trump policy. Acts of terrorism will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This is yet another example why we must keep our borders secure and deport illegal anti-American radicals from our homeland. My heart goes out to the victims of this terrible tragedy and the great people of Boulder, Colorado. Okay, so yeah, this red pill media comments that this Niagara looks like a Jewish Israeli spy. It's like I can't disagree. Like, of course, I don't know, but okay. So this guy supposedly threw some Molotov cocktails into a crowd or something, and and I'm just wondering, like because people are suggesting that this, like they suggested about the last week's incident or the prior incident, is that they were false flags. And it's like I'm not saying they were or weren't, but I'm just wondering like how does this, if they are some random Muslims who are acting on their own, how does this benefit their cause? Because it seems to benefit Israel and Israel adjacent people more to make them seem like victims, and if you criticize them, then you're just like these people because they don't want to. There's a big difference about calling out their heinous ways and then doing something heinous yourself. That's a big difference. But of course, they don't want you to um, realize it or talk about it. And one of the wounded in the Colorado attack is a Holocaust survivor. Friend says, like, how old was the survivor? And I guess this guy wasn't very efficient. If it was somebody who was over 80 years old and they survived, how many and there's this um, like these news articles. This is from, god damn it, the numbers are so crappy. Like I can see these numbers, but I think this is from before 2020. There are just 100,000 Holocaust survivors alive today, and then this is from 2020. There are 192,000 Holocaust survivors living in Israel. So wait, the number has almost doubled, and now it's just mentions the ones living in Israel, and of course there are others living somewhere else. And here is from Okay, so this is January. It was January 1st, 2020, and this is January 25th, 2020. Archivists are racing to identify every Jewish Holocaust victim. So on the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, just 400,000 Holocaust survivors are still alive. So wait, which one? Do they just keep spawning? How does this work? I don't really understand. And Laura Loomer is here saying, this is really not going to end well. We are without a doubt going to have another 9/11. I just have such a bad feeling about this. Yeah, so somebody says that she's preparing to dance, like, referring to the dancing Israelis that happened on that day. So yeah, it is. This sounds more like a threat than warning or anything, or like a call for reason or anything like that. And okay, and here Thomas Massey saying nothing can justify the number of civilian casualties, tens of thousands of women and children inflicted by Israel in Gaza in the last 2 years. We should end all U.S. military aid to Israel now. Yeah, 100% agree. Well put, Thomas Massey. He's the one good representative in the U.S. House or Senate or wherever he is. Representative. Is it the House? I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter right now. But the sad part is that Trump or even personally has called out Massey that we have to primary him out and get rid of him and stuff like the one good one, and Trump is against him. So what does that say about Trump? But anyways, and even Cenk Uyghur is once again, like, I've quoted him once or twice in the past few weeks positively, which is really alarming. We must unify around this. The establishment is 100% against us. Populist left and populist right should unite to win. Yeah, I do think, like, all of humanity should unite against Israel. Hence, Israel delenda est. That's what I say. And I is trying to fish for comments from Marjorie Taylor Greene and AOC, but I don't know if they agree, if they responded or not. And there's this thing, comedian Bobby Lee on his trip to Israel. When you land there, they told me that every day I have to tweet positive things about Israel. I felt so uncomfortable. I wish I hadn't come. So let's listen to some of this.
Israeli government is flying out like celebrities for free out there to do a tour for free, and it's on the house. They fly you first class, the whole thing. And I go, it's free? They go, yeah, it's not free. Because when you land there, they go, you have to every day tweet positive things about
About
Israel,
Israel. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I just felt so uneasy about it. I don't know much about it. I just know that they're in conflict. But I did what they said. It was just basically, Palestinians, no, Israel's a beautiful country.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's true,
It is
though.
true, but then it's like I had to tag the government in it or whatever.
Oh, that's crazy. The Israeli government?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's weird as shit.
Yeah, and it was just like
Oh, then
every day it was just
you were
nonstop.
cucking for the Israeli government.
Yeah, but I wish I hadn't gone really.
Yeah, that's more pathetic on the
Israeli
part of Israel, I think, that they, I don't know, have to entice celebrities to praise your country like that. Anyways, and then Anna Kasparian here says, I'm old enough to remember the dancing Israelis who happened to be Mossad agents filming and celebrating as the planes hit the World Trade Towers. Fox News, of all people, covered it at the time. Yeah, it's almost 20 minutes. Not gonna watch it, but it's very nice seeing that the Young Turks. I don't know if she left Young Turks. Oh, okay, she is still on Young Turks. So they are sort of turning around. Like, it's not like I trust their intentions, but like, hey, even if they're grifting and they say reasonable things, factual things, that's very good. And then yeah, there's thank you for calling it out, Rep Massey. So yeah, he has taken zero money from APAC. And yeah, this is the same comment that yeah, should end all U.S. military aid to Israel. Yeah, well, I think it should be all aid to Israel from any country. But anyways, and here Ron Paul is saying, yes, foreigners that come to the U.S. have freedom of speech under the U.S. Constitution. Yet Marco Rubio gave a bizarre announcement: foreigners can come to the U.S. and criticize the U.S., but foreigners cannot come to the U.S. if they criticize Israel. Yeah, like how does the old saying go? To see who rules over you, see who you cannot criticize. Have you ever seen a more blatant example? Now, Greta Thunberg is on a sailboat to Gaza. Here is how the media reported her Palestine activism versus her climate change stuff. Complete 180. Lindsey Graham said he hopes she can swim when the last boat she was attacked by Israelis with a drone. Yeah, Palestine flag with her. So yeah, after before criticizing Israel, why is this way? Okay, so first, like Greta Thunberg, 15-year-old climate activist who is demanding new kind of politics. Greta Thunberg on the state of the climate movement and the roots of her power as an activist. Greta Thunberg got the world's attention, but are leaders really listening? So yeah, it's very positive and strong and blah blah blah. But now is the sad tragedy of Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg and Gen Z's irrational hatred for Israel. Now it's very irrational. And though it's not even, at least for me, I'm not Gen Z though, but anyways, it's not hatred really. It's just recognizing that it is a threat to world stability and peace and all that stuff. So yeah, Greta Thunberg stand with Gaza is a problem for the climate change movement. Blah blah blah. Greta Thunberg named anti-Semite of the week by Jewish advocacy group after blah blah blah. So hey, it's nice to see that because she was clearly a puppet back then. Maybe she's puppeteered by somebody else, or maybe she's actually thinking by herself right now. I don't know, but this is good if she's against Israel. Is always good. And yeah, so yeah, great eyes on the mission to break Israeli blockade on Gaza. Yeah, the boat. So yeah, good luck. Blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, this is Marco Rubio officially announced that anyone who dares to criticize Israel and Jews will not be granted visa to enter the United States. So yeah, the first amendment lasted 249 years until Israel decided it had to go. So this is what Ron Paul was talking about, and he's gotten over a million from APAC. Okay, nice, nice for him. And there's this couple of images. So Jews arrive at host nation. The Germans destroyed our families and homes, don't destroy our hope. Yeah, and then is host nation today, Gaza. So as far as I know, both pictures are accurate. That there is no lie here. So yeah, this is what happened. They were welcomed to Gaza, and this is how they treated, or these people's descendants treated Gaza at least. So it certainly would have been better for Palestine not to take them in. All right, but let's get to the next part. So it's the gaming news, gaming and entertainment news. So now is Pride Month, June, and people are saying that woke is officially dead. Let's
No
let's
change.
walk watch like a
Microsoft?
little clip of this short clip. Difficult word.
No change.
Yeah, so they don't have the rainbow flag
Xbox?
colors.
No change. Disney? No change.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show all of it. But so it seems like many of these corporations no longer are hoisting the pride flag, and also last year was similar. Like there were still some and many like I saw many sports teams having celebrating the rainbow flag and stuff. So it's not completely dead, but it is dying certainly. At least right now is waning the power, which is good. But just Dracula always comes back, so eternal vigilance is the price we pay for freedom, weedom, or whatever. And here is Kangmin Lee. Yi Kangmin says June is Pride Fatigue Awareness Month. Exactly. And yeah, this is New England Patriots. Is it uh, American football hand egg, whatever? I think it is. It's not baseball, it's football or something, whatever. So they have this patriots, as I call them. And I saw some other sports teams doing similar stuff. So it's not like none of these corporations and stuff are doing it, but I guess it's less in the games industry at least. But there's this is Bungie and Destiny 2, I think, some new drugs and it's like I don't know, looks like vomit. And then okay, from Pride Month, Pride Fatigue Awareness Month, we go to Elden Ring Friends Club Edition. Isn't going overall that well, so it's mixed reviews on Steam. And let's see, here's a review of Elden Ring Night Rain. Okay, impossible to make progress without voice chat. If you have three friends you can talk to and play regularly, you will have a great time. The connection is smooth, the map is full of events, and the game loop is very interesting. However, I'm 41-year-old man and I don't have friends to regularly play this with, let alone two others. You need three to go as a team. Two won't work either. Even if they bring voice chat in the game, I'm not sure how there isn't one at the moment. You won't really enjoy this as much as if you were trying to fight with buddies, as your responsiveness with randoms will affect how you feel about your game a lot. Playing it solo queue with randoms is hard. It's hard to communicate, hard to share items, it's hard to discuss tactics and decide on the next area to farm. It's just hard. TLDR, if you don't have two more friends you can group up with regularly, it's not fun. It's like, yeah, for me, it's like, what were they thinking? Like, I'm clearly not target audience. Like, yeah, because I don't, sometimes play online with my friends in Finland. I live in Hong Kong. Like, I play tabletop role playing games and board games online, but it's been a while since I played any online games with my friends, like with proper co-op or whatever stuff like that. Like I used to, but it's always difficult. Even back in the day when I used to play more online games with friends, it's usually happened that one friend is like, okay, hey, there's this new game, let's buy everybody buy this game, and yeah, it's great. And then I buy it, and then we play it for a week, and then the guy who was so enthusiastic about it is like, I don't want to play it anymore. There's this new thing, I want to play that, and it's like I still wanted to play the game, but then there's like maybe me and one other guy who were interested. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like sure, it's fun to have play online games with your friends if you have, can do that, but like not everybody, not all of my friends really play video games that much or anything. So yeah, this just sounds like a dumb idea, like forces you to play with your friends. Like like if it's some cheap game that costs like $5 to $10, that basically forces you to play with friends. I think that's good. That's like sort of taking a risk. But I assume this one is a bit more expensive. And of course, it's Elden Ring sequel or whatever. Anyway, so there's Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be wild. Feels like a bad joke. So this is just people who from the production team. And some people say that they are um, like they worked on Skyrim as well. Well, at least if they did, they looked probably a lot different back then, and also probably their minds worked differently back then. And it's not like I think Skyrim was some masterpiece or anything. It was, fun for a while, but not the greatest thing ever. But yeah, of course, it does seem that Scrolls 6 is gonna suck, because if it's these kind of people who made it, like you can tell a lot about the product by looking at the people making it. I think I maybe made a similar argument just last week that if you see somebody says that my 5-year-old kid is just such a great painter, she's a fucking genius and stuff. It's like I don't expect her paintings to be great if she's 5 years old, unless she's some actual genius. But most likely it's just she's good for a 5-year-old. Anyways, and Valve's Gabe Newell co-founded a neuroscience startup in 2019, and its first brain chip is set to launch this year. Wait, it's gonna launch already? I somehow missed that detail. But yeah, this is sort of alarming. Like, it's not really surprising that all that Steam money has been used for something evil, and I can't look at this in any other way that it's gonna be used for evil. This microchipping people, there's no way that won't backfire in some way or another against humanity and nature and all that stuff. So that's not nice. Like, of course, I don't know what exactly is it gonna do, but it's like, yeah, if you're gonna put a microchip in your brain, no, no, I would ban it under the penalty of death. All right, and then Sony patent system that profiles toxic players as judge, limiting your usage. Documents reveal that it's a bad actor detection system. It essentially creates a social point profile of the user, of their behavior history, and limits your online capabilities until you behave yourself. It will only restore your access to service until you stop being a naughty incel and play nice. So yeah, lots of these social Reddit stuff is becoming more popular in the West as well. Not just in China, whatever. We don't have that, at least as far as I know, in Hong Kong, because this is a bit different. Special administration region. So I don't know how it actually works in like mainland China. Like, do they actually use some social credit stuff? But there's little, like the I, I mentioned the Palantir news earlier that supposedly is going to be used to create a social credit system in the US. So yeah, this is becoming very popular. Yeah, the West no longer can gripe about China or whatever, because it's becoming as bad or even worse, or at least trying to get there. So that's not nice. And EA cracking down on DEI remover mod for Sims. So there's a mod, however, that has caused a bit of controversy. DEI remover is a mod that changes diverse character options found in the game into straight and white characters. EA is reportedly trying to have the mod removed from various websites, but it keeps on being re-uploaded according to a report from Wired. Just came across, sorry, I did a little bit of coughing. Just came across Sims 4 mod that removes DI by forcing all pre-made Sims to be white, straight, thin, and even changing LGBTQ blah 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 in couples and siblings, she wrote. This isn't just a mod, it's intentionally erasing representation and pushing a harmful, disgusting agenda. Ah, okay. The Sims are always been about creativity, diversity. Well, this is creativity at least, and making space for everyone to tell their story. Well, yeah, they're trying to tell their story. It completely goes against that, one Sims player said. Mhm. But yeah, like why, like it's a mod. Why would the developer? It shouldn't. What I do with a game, like if I let's go back 20, 30 years. I buy a fucking PlayStation 1 game, and I get the CD, and it shouldn't matter, like, to the publisher or developer what I do with it. Like, whether I just play it on my PlayStation or whether I use it as a, coaster or a frisbee or whatever, or I don't know, a cock ring. So it's none of their fucking business, and I don't understand how it can be legal for them to say that, oh, they having mods to a game that they have to take them down. That's bullshit. And the last story of the week, of the day, is Hunter Schafer is reportedly being eyed to play Princess Zelda in live action Legend of Zelda film. So this, trans person is supposedly or possibly gonna play Princess Zelda. It's just I don't know, funny, and this meme is brilliant. Please don't race swap Princess Zelda is the monkey's paw, which is like the story that is basically if you hold the paw and make a wish, it will come true, but there's gonna be a catch. And this is the catch, which is a dick. If indeed this is true, but like maybe it's a good decision from the people who make the movie, because I might before I heard about this, I already thought that the movie is gonna suck no matter what. Like there's nothing they can really do to make it unsuck. So if they do this, the failure will be blamed on the actor of Zelda instead of the movie sucking overall. So then at least they can take the excuse of bigots and judges complaining about it. Uh, but yeah, I guess that's all for 2 week. 2 weeks today, this week. I don't know. My brain is rotting and melting. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have any summary. Do I? I don't know. Watch out for wizards looking into their orbs and palantirs, and they're spying on you. Well, everybody's spying on you anyways already. So, uh, but I'm Adventure Argonaut. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.